Charlo says 147 was all wrong for Errol Spence. Will beat Terence Crawford at 154. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So the rematch is happening. Not sure of the official fight date yet, but it's definitely happening very soon, sooner than later. And everyone's now giving their opinion on how they feel the fight will turn out. I want to break down what Jermell Charlo recently had to say, give my 227 nickels, and break it down for anybody listening.
Crawford did shit in 154. How y'all want him to fight me? How are we talking about somebody that ain't even fought in the division? How do he just jump from there to there? Like, what connection do he got to this world? What that tall, lanky motherfucker at?
Alright, y'all. So, Jermell Charlo, man. Good friends with Errol Spence Jr., stablemates. I believe they also share the same trainer, Dietrich James, what I like to call him. But, you know, he recently gave an interview and he said that he feels like Errol Spence was in the wrong weight class, that he should have already left 147 and moved up to at least 154 for the remainder of his career.
Another cold one?
Oh, yeah, that'll hit the spot. Oh. You know, they didn't beat us because we suck. They beat us because we old.
Yeah, we're slow, we're creaky, and we're gray. And I can say this because you're my friend. I believe I'm developing some man boobs.
And to be honest with you, I think that was Errol Spence's plan, you know, and I think that he should have done the same thing, especially once he even said one thing about, hey, I can't make 147 anymore. That should have just been it. But I understand his reasoning for sticking around. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to have to stick around for 2 extra years in the division just to take a loss. But this is what happens in sports sometimes. You know, when you dare to be great, you know, there's a chance that you might not hit that pinnacle and you might have to achieve something else to be considered great.
I'm a bit rusty, but I still speak crack.
And, you know, do you blame Terence Crawford for the fact that he had to sit around and wait a full 2 years to actually make that fight? I think Terence Crawford is to blame for that. But, you know, once again, Errol Spence was daring to be great. And I think that was the strategy of Terence Crawford. I think they got leaked some information and they used it to their best abilities. And they won that fight at 147 pounds. But I agree with Charlo as well that, you know, you didn't see the best Errol Spence, and you're most likely going to see a completely different fight at 154. Nobody's giving Errol Spence a chance to win that fight. Based off what they saw in the first fight, nobody's giving him a chance. And to be honest with you, I don't think he did as much damage to Errol Spence as people want to, you know, kind of poke fun at.
I smell shit!
Because it looks so bad. But I don't think he did that much damage to Spence or his ego. I think it just looked really bad because Spence couldn't make the weight and he just couldn't keep up at that weight. You know, here's the thing about 154 is when they do fight at 154, okay, they have to make weight. Errol Spence doesn't have to drop all the way down to 147 to make weight. He can drop down to 154 and then he can rehydrate back up to most likely 160 to 165. I'm not sure if he's able to put on 10 pounds that quickly in just water weight, or if 10 pounds worth of water weight is really what he's, you know, shooting for, because I think that's a little excessive to rehydrate up that far. You know, if you're making the 154 limit and then you can rehydrate up 7 pounds, which will make you 160, I think that's enough weight, you know, to go into a fight at. But if he's looking to rehydrate up to like 165, you know, 170, I think that's a lot of water weight to be dragging around. Now, here's the thing about that. If he does rehydrate up that far to like 170, and that's where he feels comfortable at, he's going to be able to absorb a lot more shots from Terence Crawford. Now, in the first fight, the shots that Errol was taking, they were catching them, they looked bad, they were dropping them, but they never really stopped him. The referee stopped the fight. Errol Spence never stopped coming.
Now get a hold of yourself. It's not as bad around here as you think. Great Scottie Pippen! Drive, Walter, now!
The referee stopped the fight because it looked bad. Now, those shots that Terence Crawford was landing in the first fight, they're not going to look as bad because Errol Spence is going to absorb a lot more of that, being that he's going to have way more body mass. And I'm not sure what the rehydration clause was for the first fight, whether it was both guys have to stay around, the 147 limit, that you can rehydrate up to maybe 154, 155, somewhere around there, or was there an unlimited rehydration clause? And that hasn't been released to the public, I don't think. Now, I don't know what the second one will be either, or whether they came up with some type of deal that, for the 147 fight, we have to be a certain weight, but in the 154 fight, we don't have to be a certain weight. So both guys will be able to balloon up as high as they both can go and just have a slugfest, in the second fight.
This chick on Facebook talking about she got a PS5 for $200. So, I hurry up and cash out that motherfucker $200 for that. But how about the last 2-3 days, I've been getting threatening messages. I'm a hoe ass nigga. So I run to that nigga bio and look him up. The nigga name put him in the dirt junkie. Now I'm already scared when I see he gonna kill 7 people. He got tattoos all over his motherfucking face. I don't want them problems. So I told that nigga, look, meet me in a public place. I'm gonna give you your motherfucking game back, bro. But what he don't know, that public place is a motherfucking police station. I ain't playing no games with you.
Now, I think a slugfest would actually benefit Errol Spence. If they can come in at whatever weight, most definitely it's going to benefit Spence, because we've seen at low weights, it doesn't look good. It doesn't carry well anymore on Errol Spence, and he can't manage that weight, those low weights anymore. So any type of high weight that either one of these guys can walk into the ring at is most definitely going to benefit Errol Spence. Now, is a stronger, bigger Terence Crawford more dangerous for Spence? I think a lot of people feel that way. Now, we've never seen a bigger, stronger Terence Crawford. The thing about it is, I think that Errol Spence is actually quicker when he has more weight on him, and he's actually slower when he has less weight on him, because his body mass is so much, he needs that extra fuel to fuel himself, basically. He needs that extra, couple of pounds to fuel him moving that big body around the ring. Terence Crawford has always gotten used to the smaller weight, so this is a very, unknown territory for him. So when he goes into this fight, we don't know if his body's going to react positively to being bigger or negatively to being bigger, to where he has to drag a bigger body around, using more energy, using more calories, and it might not bode well for him. Not to mention the fact that he's most likely not going to have his head trainer in his corner for that fight. So it's a lot of unknowns going into this fight. But what we do know is that Errol Spence actually has been at this weight before. Errol Spence has fought at 154 before. Errol Spence normally walks around a heavier guy, so heavier weight is going to benefit Spence. Now, whether Terence Crawford can come up with a game plan good enough to counteract that, I don't know. It's yet to be seen. But this is the reason I'm still riding with Spence in the rematch. Is the reason I think a lot of people that know Spence are riding with him, like Jermell Charlo, because they seen what he can do already at a higher weight.
Fear is a very important thing in boxing, because all fighters are afraid. Fear is like fire. If you let it get out of control, it will destroy you and everything around you. I fan the spark until it becomes a flame. I feed the flame until it becomes a fire. Then I feed the fire until it becomes a roaring blade. That's what I have to do. You manage to control it, you can make it work for you.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. but you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel or my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is flaccocards@gmail.com. And we are
There you go. Hey yo, brand new money. What you know about it? Niggas wanna claim they bout it, I doubt it. Got your house surrounded, you don't wanna come about it. It's lonely at the top, but at the bottom it's crowded. A nigga ain't ate in a week, yet and still got a pocket full of bread, then you're probably a beast. If you're eating every day of the week, but you ain't got $1 to your name, then you're probably a leech. Preach, thank the Most Highs for making me most flies. Okay, wash on the fat boy dad. I know you got something on your mind, don't try it. I got something in the rats in your head, bone flying for sure. Let me see you go, let me see you go. Get it, let me see you go, let me see you go. You know I stack it, don't spin it, own it, don't rent it. Wait a damn minute, I'ma show them how to get it. Come on, let me see you go, let me see you go. Get it, let me see you go, let me see you go. Get it, let me see you go, let me see you go. Get it, let me see you go, let me see you go. Hey yo, you can hear the cop sirens and the shots firing. Niggas looking for jobs, but they not hiring. You gotta take it all in your own hands. What you on, bruh? I got my own plans. Get my own land, please move along, man. If you can't respect the fact that I'm a grown man, and I ain't playing, going hard in the paint for my niggas that wanna go hard, but they can't. So I guess I'm going triple hard. I get your girlfriend's nipples hard. Never leave home without my pimpin' card. So please put my name on the wall. That's the greatest of all. Put my name on the brawl. If I lay in the wrong, what I'm saying to y'all, Louis Keys ain't playing with y'all. Middle finger, what I'm waving to y'all. Give a damn if you say hi. Super low, yet I stay high. Louis Keys. Let me see you go. Let me see you go. Get it. Let me see you go. Let me see you go. You know I stack it, don't spin it. Own it,